Once again, we say good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader between the home team Bellevue University Bruins and the visiting Jamestown University Jimmies out of Jamestown, North Dakota. If you were with us for game number 1, you saw an exciting extra inning contest. The Bellevue Bruins win it by a score of 2-1 in 10 innings. 2 runs on 6 hits, the winning play. A suicide squeeze bunt by Anthony Lynn, scoring Jake Lacey for the margin of victory. 1 run on 8 hits and no errors for the Jimmies. A pitcher's duel and a great defensive contest. Only a few runs, the Bruins eking out that win in the bottom of the 10th inning. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for game number 2 in today's contest. For the visiting University of Jamestown Jimmies, leading it off and playing center field, Chase Burke. Batting second and playing second base is Alex Alva. The 3-hole hitter is the first baseman, Ryan Muzalar. The cleanup hitter and catching is Jordan Singleton. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Tristan Madison. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Isaiah Roebuck. Batting seventh and playing left field is Ben Patton. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Landon Runge. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Ricky Okamoto. On the mound this afternoon for game number 2, Luke Zimmer. Zimmer with a 6-3 record, a 5.61 earned run average. For the home team, Bellevue Bruins, pretty much the same lineup that we saw in game number 1 with the change on the pitching mound. Leading it off for the Bruins and playing third base will be Scott Hansen. Batting second and playing first base is Steven Elsner. The 3-hole hitter is the catcher, Logan Grant. The cleanup hitter is Jake Lacey and playing center field. Sorry, lost my spot. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Aiden Macaris. Batting sixth and playing left field is Elijah Tanner. Batting seventh and playing right field, Anthony Lind. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Nick Gravel. And batting ninth, the shortstop, C.J. Townsend. On the mound this afternoon for game 2 for the Bruins is right-hander Jace Wessels. Wessels a 4-0 record, a 1.99 earned run average on the season. Mick, do you have any more information about Jace?
Jace is 6'2", 210-pound senior right-hander out of Clarkston, Washington. Jace was moved into the rotation about when Bellevue started conference play this year and has just been lights out as a weekend starter ever since he's been inserted.
Jace, in fact, has the best earned run average of all the pitchers in the North Star Athletic Association. His 1.99 earned run average is tops not only for the Bruins, but tops in the league. Parker McMahon, the Bruins game 1 starter today, third in the conference in ERA with his 2.70 earned run average. That will be lower after the end of today's contest, as he only allowed 1 run in 9 innings in today's first game. All right, we are ready to go. Mick and Mick back at you for game number 2. The first pitch from Jace Wessels is to the center fielder, Chase Burke. A strike 1 called.
Yeah, Wessels just straight over the top motion, almost axe throwing look like the way he delivers that ball right over the top of that big right-handed frame. Quickly ahead of Burke 0-2.
On that foul ball, so Jessel's working ahead of the first man that he faced. Chase Burke had a couple of hits in game number 1, his first time up and his last time up. Chops that one foul over near the third base dugout. Again, the Jamestown Jimmies wearing the black and orange uniform tops, the Bruins in their gold tops with purple and white trim. Bellevue comes into today's game 33-13 now, a 16-1 conference record, and Jamestown 32-13, 11-6 in conference. Again, congratulations to the Bruins. They are the uncontested, outright solo champions of the regular season for the North Star Athletic Association. Bruins have won the conference regular season championship every year but one since joining the North Star Athletic Association, now in its final year of existence. 2-2 the count. After a couple of balls from Wessels, he'll look in, gets the signal from Logan Grant, and ready to have at it in the battle with Burke. That pitch misses upstairs, so count goes full after an 0-2 start. 10-inning game number 1. So did we decide if this is a 7 or a 9-inning contest for game 2? Strike 3 called. A nice breaking ball sweeps across the outside part of the plate. And Jace Wessel strikes out the first man he faces.
Yeah, nice little slider off the outside there. Or excuse me, inside off the outside edge.
Easy for you to say.
I know. Wessel showed about his whole arsenal there to Burke. Saw a little 12-6er, a little fastball, and froze him on the slider.
Next man up is second baseman Alex Alva. Alva with a couple of great defensive plays in game number 1. First pitch swinging, foul over near the third base dugout. Scott Hansen runs out of room. Can't make the play, so just a strike.
Just barely ran out of room. That one hit the net at the very bottom where it meets the top of the visiting dugout.
Alva was 1 for 5 in game number 1 today. Wessels working exclusively from the stretch. That cutter in the zone for the strike call.
Have we seen a Bruins pitcher throw out of the windup yet today?
You won't see many of those. There's a couple guys that do, but most of the pitchers work exclusively from the stretch. 0-2 pitch chopped on the ground to Steven Elsner at first base. Makes the backhand grab with that big first baseman's glove. Steps on the base. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the first inning.
A good start there from Wessels.
Number 2, Ryan Muzalar.
Here's Ryan Muzalar, the first baseman. Muzalar, the leading hitter, leading home run guy, leading RBI guy on the season. He had a 1 for 4 game number 1.
Yeah, kept him pretty in check, just a harmless single in his second at bat in the first game.
Slider swung on and missed. That got a little piece of the catcher, Logan Grant.
Grant catching both halves of the doubleheader here today. He's doing double duty.
He's an Iron Man. He's been behind the plate in I think all but 2 of the Bellevue games this year. Another breaking ball, another called strike out of the outer half. 0-2.
Yeah, he's really dotting that sweeper. That's 3 of them now we've seen for strikes.
Muzalar, a senior out of Grand Forks, North Dakota. 4-year member of the Jimmy squad. Tough chance from CJ at shortstop, but he gets it there just in time. May have been a little bit casual on that toss after making the short hop pick, 6-3 on the play.
Yeah, great pick. Didn't really show off the arm strength there. Gave Muzalar a chance to almost beat that one out, but all worked out in the end for the Bruins.
Just in time to get it done. 3 up, 3 down, top of the first. After a half, the Jimmy's nothing, and the Bellevue Bruins coming to bat. All right, we think it's going to be a 7-inning game number 2. Normally, game number 1 is a 7-inning contest, and the second game is a 9-inning affair. But if game 1 goes extras, then game 2 becomes a 7-inning contest. Buck is back from Anchorage, Alaska. Thanks for joining us once again on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. 402-515-7654 is our number. Pitcher for game number 2 for Jamestown is right-hander Luke Zimmer. Tell us a little bit more about Luke, please, Mick.
Luke is a very big right-hander, 6'4", 225 out of Bellevue, North Dakota. And he looks all of 6'4", 225 out there on the mound. Looks like he might go play some left tackle after the game is done. Luke's numbers on the season, this is his 13th appearance, his 11th start. He is 6-3 with a 5.61 ERA.
A change defensively for the University of Jamestown in game number 2 as opposed to game number 1. The DH and the catchers will switch spots. Jordan Singleton will now be behind the plate in game number 2. Tristan Madison will serve as the DH. Catching the pitches of Luke Zimmer. All right. Pretty much the same lineup for the Bellevue Bruins in game number 2. As we saw in the batting order of game number 1, third baseman Scott Hansen will lead things off for the home team.
And Zimmer does have strikeout stuff, even with the elevated ERA. Leads the team in strikeouts, so somebody you're going to probably see work some counts, try to put some guys away.
First pitch, a breaking ball, almost hits Hansen. He gets those legs out of the way.
Don't see a lot of first pitch of the game breaking balls.
No.
Probably that's why I almost hit Hansen in the knee there.
That pitch on the inside corner, strike call, 1-1 the count on Hansen. Scott was 0 for 4, had a couple of strikeouts in game number 1, so he'd like to get off to a better start here in game number 2. Takes that one low, 2-1, as my voice suddenly sounds gravelly.
Yeah, Zimmer bounced that one in there. Looked like giving his new catcher, Jordan Singleton, just welcoming him to the ball game, wearing that one off the shoulder.
Another breaking ball. That one's chopped foul up the third base side. So a couple of big-bodied guys forming the battery for the Jimmies. Zimmer at 6'4", and Singleton is also 6'4". Here's the next pitch. Breaking ball misses away. Full count on Scott Henson leading off the bottom of the first inning. Again, if you missed game number 1 today, it was an exciting pitcher's duel. Bruins finally winning it 2-1 in 10 innings. On a sacrifice bunt, Henson swings and misses at the breaking ball. Third strikeout of the afternoon for Scott, so you know he's got to feel a little frustrated.
Yeah, a lot of breaking stuff there throughout the at-bat from Zimmer.
Next up, the Bruins first baseman, Steven Elsner. Elsner had a couple of warning track shots in game number 1.
Now batting the first baseman, number 36, Steven.
0 for 4 with a hit by pitch in the first game today. As you mentioned, flew out to the right center field warning track and the left field warning track.
First pitch from Zimmer is low, ball 1, again a breaking ball. Not quite as windy at the start of game number 2. They were expecting the winds to die down a little bit. They also said maybe later in the day we might see some peaks of sunshine. Next pitch, again a breaking ball, and again it's down low. 55 degrees in the Omaha Bellevue area. Might add a few more degrees before the day is done. But don't hold your breath. It's Midwest in the middle of spring in the middle of the West. 2-1 now to count. That fastball in the zone. Now 3-1. All 3 breaking balls from Zimmer in this at-bat have been in the dirt or in the pebbles. So Steven looking for a pitch to drive on this 3-1 advantage to the hitter. The windup and the pitch. Down low. Now 3-2 the count. Sorry I missed a pitch in there. Those little naps sometimes help me. Payoff pitch upcoming. And that one gets by the catcher. Low and away anyway, so a walk for Elsner. He'll trot down to be the first base runner of this game.
You weren't wrong. You were just early.
There we go. The prophet in me.
Yeah, Zimmer almost exclusively breaking balls in that at-bat. I think we only saw like one fastball. So kind of pitching backwards a little bit. A lot of sliders.
Here's Bruins Iron Man catcher Logan Grant. Logan's been behind the dish of just about every one of the Bruins games this year. Opposite field swinging to left field. Circling out there on the warning track and crashing into the fence, making the catch, is left fielder Ben Patton. Patton getting the start in game number 2 today to take extra bases away from Logan Grant.
Yeah, and almost ran out of room. As you said, his back hit the wall as he caught that one. Grant just missed putting one out of here to the opposite field. You can see why they're playing him every game if he's going to be one of the top batters.
Here's cleanup hitter Jake Lacey, the Bruins center fielder. So 2 outs in the inning. Steven Elsner, the runner at first, a short lead there. Breaking ball misses low and in. Long look in to get the signal.
Lacey 2 hits, 3 walks in the first contest.
That one opposite field, second baseman Alva able to get a glove on it, but he can't make the play. Infield single. Long way to go for Alva to try to get there and just couldn't quite get it under control, so Jake Lacey will pick up the hit. Elsner advancing to second. The Bruins have 2 on and 2 out for designated hitter Aiden Macaris. Oh, wait, excuse me.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 29, Aiden Macaris.
There we go. Sorry, I had the wrong number now for Aiden.
You know, I feel like we were begging the Bruins to do that in the entire first game. Just take that ball the other way. Test out that second base hole, and how about that? It worked immediately.
There we go.
That's
Jake
Macaris.
Lacey getting it done.
Yeah, Macaris takes strike 1 on another breaker from Zimmer.
Okotoks, Alberta, Canada, his hometown. Down low, 1-1 the count. Throw to second base, obviously not in time. Macris started his college career at Louisiana State University, Eunice.
That's not too bad. They're one of their
327 hitter during his time there. Fouled off the catcher, back to the screen.
He rocketed that one off the catcher's equipment. Big walk in the last inning of the first game from Macris. He had a tough go of it in the middle innings, couple strikeouts, fly out. Big part of that game-ending rally in the bottom of the 10th for the Bruins. Hopefully carry over some of that confidence into this second matchup.
Zimmer looks to runner back to second. Steal attempt, the ball hit in the air to the right center field. It has some carry, has some distance, and it just enough to get over the fence. An opposite field, 3-run home run by Aiden Macris. Oh, there goes my voice, my goodness. 3-0 our score. Pardon me.
Macris really put a charge into that one. Roebuck kind of broke like he thought he had a chance at it, and that ball just kept going and going and going. The strength of Macris, take that breaker on the outside half and just deposits it into the hillside beyond right field.
The 12th home run of the year for Macris. RBI's now up to 31 on the season. Only been a couple of months for Aiden since he didn't start right at the beginning of the season. Here now, left fielder Elijah Tanner.
Maybe they're listening to us. You know, take that ball to right center with a big guy. How about that?
How about that?
Couple hits, 3 runs.
The only ones that listen to us, Mick, are our wives, right?
Yeah, sure.
Foul out of play by Elijah.
Yeah, Macris really stayed right on that ball and just dropped the barrel and drove it. That's a perfect approach for him.
Now 3 Bruins in double digits with home runs on the year, and all of them with power to any part of the field, not just strictly pull hitters. That's Elsner, Grant, and Macris. 2-1 the count on Elijah. Flags out on the poles in center field, now hanging pretty limp as the wind has considerably died down from game number 1. Little flare out toward shallow right field. Alva, the second baseman, out there to make the play, and the side is retired. The Bruins pick up a 3 spot in the bottom of the first inning, courtesy of the home run by Aiden Macris. 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. After 1 inning of play, the Bellevue Bruins 3 and the Jamestown Jimmies nothing. So Jace Wessels back to the mound with a nice 3-1 cushion to work with.
Jace's last 2 outings have gone the distance both times and picked up wins in both against Dakota State and Mayville State. As we said, really been pitching well to this rotation ever since Coach Monlux inserted him as a weekend starter once the Bruins got into conference play.
So we've already tied in 1 inning our run total, what took us 10 innings in game number 1.
A little more exciting way to get the 3 runs, too. How about that? Wessels try to keep it right there.
He'll be looking at the middle part of the order for Jamestown, starting off with the catcher, Jordan Singleton. Jace, the Bruins starting pitcher, started his college career at Columbia Basin College in Washington State. First pitch fastball stays upstairs. Jace played there for 3 years, compiled a 17-win and 5-loss record. Breaking ball in the zone, 1-1 to count.
I think he hit the batter's
Bat on the return
or
throw.
something,
Yeah,
or tried to
throw.
avoid it, and yeah, dribbles that one over to CJ. Warms his arm up a little bit. Singleton, as you said, he DH'd the first game, catching this one, had the lone RBI for the Jimmies in the first inning of game 1.
Tries to stop his swing, but can't.
Good action on that breaker from Wessels. Looks sharp early.
Jace with a 4-0 record, and that sterling 1.99 earned run average. Tries the backdoor breaking ball, but it stays outside, bounces off Logan Grant into the on-deck circle.
Yeah, I mean, his Wessel's numbers are incredible on the year. Whip under 1, walk to strikeout ratio, 39 strikeouts coming into the game against only 7 walks. So good command and has stuff to put you away.
That fastball stays up. Full count, 3-2 situation here. Both these teams do a good job offensively, pitching-wise, and defense. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. The strikeout, the second of the game for Jace Wessels, the leadoff man in both the first and now second inning. Go down on strikes.
Changed speeds a little bit on that curve.
Yeah.
He threw it a little slower to Singleton. He got him to chase one in the dirt. That one he threw in the zone for a strike. Singleton way out in front of it as he probably took a couple miles per hour off the big breaker.
Next up, the designated hitter, Tristan Madison. Breaking ball on the hands, fouled away. Madison was behind the plate in game number 1. He and Singleton have switched spots in the lineup. Same order, but catcher and DH switching responsibilities.
Madison 0 for 3 with a walk in the first game.
Breaking ball down low. Madison, a junior out of Placentia, California. Both teams' rosters, a geography lesson across the United States and Canada. And also Brazil. And the Jimmies also have a player from Cuba, Illinois.
I believe Akamoto is from Japan as well.
Oh, yeah. Number 7, Kochi, Japan,
Kochi,
to be
Japan.
exact.
How about that?
Breaking ball blocked up by Grant. 2-2 the count. Popped in the air down the right field line. Lind giving chase, but he's not going to wind up being able to make a play.
Rattled off the boundary fence over there.
When you were a little kid, do you remember sled riding down that hill behind right field?
Yeah, I remember Lauren running into a tree.
Yeah, Lauren ran into a tree. Yeah, that was fun.
That's the main memory.
I
don't think we did it after that.
No, that was probably the last time. She got on a toboggan with 2 of her cousins. They saw the tree coming and they bailed. She was the third one on. It crashed into the tree. Down to Lind again in right field.
He's got this one.
In play and in the glove of Anthony Lind for the second out of the inning. Before the renovations to John Stella Field at Brown Park, that right field corner was not fenced in, so you could start up on 15th Street and go about a block or so straight downhill and wind up with your sled or toboggan out here near first base. Fun ride, except for the trees. Here's right fielder Isaiah Roebuck. Roebuck logged a lot of miles defensively in game number 1, chasing down Bruin hits that direction. Takes that first pitch upstairs, ball 1.
Went 1 for 3 with a single to left in the first matchup.
Hit well to center field. Jake Lacey backtracking. He'll have room to make the catch. And another 1-2-3 inning for pitcher Jace Wessels. 6 up, 6 down. Our score remains the Bruins 3 and the Jimmies nothing. And the conference tournament begins next weekend at Dickinson State University in Dickinson, North Dakota. Seedings will be announced after this weekend's competition has concluded. 8 teams will be involved in the tournament beginning May 1st through the 5th. Bellevue is already qualified for the NAIA National Tournament as the regular season conference champion, and then one more team will head to the NAIA opening round depending upon the results of the conference tournament from May 1st through the 5th in Dickinson. Anthony Lind, whose suicide squeeze bunt won the game for the Bruins. in game number 1 today in the bottom of the 10th inning. We'll lead things off in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Lind, Gravel, and Townsend, the first 3 scheduled hitters.
Did he get a hit for that? Fielder's choice?
Let me ask the official score.
Leading off for the Bruins, the right fielder, number 17, Anthony Lind.
Yes, sir.
Did Lind get credit for a hit or a fielder's choice? Fielder's choice, okay. But he also gets a sacrifice, right? Fielder's choice and sacrifice for Anthony to end that last game.
I'm sure everyone at home was wondering, asking for all our viewers.
There you go. Thanks for taking the spot of the public out there.
Yeah, of course.
Chopper to short.
Tough play.
Runge on the short hop over to first base just in time to retire a hustling Anthony Lind. So Landon Runge has done a nice job defensively today for the Jimmies as well.
Yeah, picked that on the short hop. That wasn't an easy play. And then Lind was getting down the line pretty well. Had to make a nice throw and just beat him by about a half step.
Neither team made an error in game number 1.
It's a well-defended game. Couple of highlight reel plays, especially on the infield.
Here's Nick Gravel, the second baseman. The first pitch from Luke Zimmer, up and away.
Gravel made a couple of highlight reel plays on his own in that first contest. Robbed some hits.
Yeah, both second basemen doing their best to earn some Gold Glove recognition. 2-0 the count on Gravel out of Nova Scotia. Breaking ball this time is in the zone.
0 for 3 in the first game. Had a sacrifice.
Most of the Bruin recruits come from the Midwest and the West Coast and the western part of Canada. So Nova Scotia, outside the normal recruiting range. That one's flared out to left center field. Gloved out there on the running catch by center fielder Chase Burke for the second out of the inning.
Now batting the shortstop, number 7, CJ.
And another one of the West Coast guys, but this time the United States from Eugene, Oregon. Shortstop, CJ Townsend.
Townsend 0 for 2 in the first. First matchup, looking to get off the schneid here.
First pitch, a called strike at the top of the zone. Again, we got the usual hum baby from Bill and Pam, CJ's parents. Hit in the air to center field, but right at Burke. Doesn't have to move more than a step. As Burke gets 2 outs, 2 putouts in the inning, and the side is retired in order. 2 innings in the book. Our score, the Bellevue Bruins 3, the Jamestown Jimmies 0.
A little unlucky there for CJ. That ball was struck, hit right on the screws, just literally right at Burke, the center fielder.
CJ had over a 20-game, I think it was 21-22 hitting streak last year for the Bruins, but his bat not quite as effective, but his glove continues to be very solid for the Bruins at that shortstop position. Jace Wessels back to the mound for his 3rd inning of work.
Yeah, CJ over 300 last year, 302 with a 430 on base percentage. Down a little bit this year, but as you said, making all the plays at shortstop for the Bruins.
Yeah, we got another text from Aiden Macris's brother up in Jamestown. There's the Macris home run I was waiting for.
He called it.
Yeah, it took a little while, but Aiden delivered, and that's the current score, 3-0. Top of the 3rd inning will be led off by left fielder Ben Patton. Patton came in as a pinch runner in game number 1, stayed in the game. Gets the start in game number 2.
His lone at bat was a strikeout looking in game number 1.
First pitch from Wessels is low.
Sure, Wessels would love to duplicate that here again in the top of the 3rd.
Line into left field, might get into the corner. Patton down, rounding first base, on his way to second. The throw to second will not be in time. A leadoff double by Ben Patton. And the Jimmies have something going in the top of the 3rd inning, their first hit of this game.
Yeah, it's just an inside fastball. Patton turned, dropped the head of the bat on that one, and rifled it down in the left field corner. Really good piece of hitting on not a bad pitch from Wessels.
Just got that, as you said, the barrel head through quickly, pulled the hands in, and now it's up to shortstop Landon Runge to try to advance the base runner or knock him home. Breaking ball, misses, ball one.
1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts in the first game for Runge. Made a nice play at short there in the bottom half of the second inning.
3 runs on 2 hits for the Bruins. No runs on 1 hit thus far for the Jimmies. Sliced foul down the right field side. 1-1 the count.
Right into the Bruin bullpen. Yeah, Runge a little late on that fastball from Wessels. You got to learn from that. Maybe pump some more ched into the zone here, see if he can catch up to it.
Wind picking up again just a little bit. A gentle breeze blowing from left to right. Showing bunt, takes the pitch for a called strike, outer half. Runge thought it was going to go wide, but it stayed in the zone. Now 1-2.
Did look like another fastball up on that outer half there from Wessels. Dotted the outside corner. Honestly, wouldn't have been a bad pitch to get a bunt on.
Yeah, bunting for a base hit, whatever. Your momentum's carrying you towards the first base side. Wessels ahead in the count. Breaking ball, low and away, 2-2.
There was the tight breaker. Good little waist pitch there. See if Runge would offer at that one. Now you probably go right back to that heater. You know his bat was a little slow on it. See if you can get him to swing right through one as Runge gets right up on top of home plate there. Don't be afraid for Wessels. A lot of times that means they don't like the ball inside. They're daring you to throw it there.
Breaking ball, sweeps away wide. Full count.
Back when I played, I would do that because I didn't like the ball in the inside
Yeah.
half, but I didn't mind wearing one in the leg or the arm or the face or wherever. So you're daring the pitcher to throw it in there because, hey, I can cover this whole half, outside half, no problem now.
Yeah, your mom was a little concerned when you got hit in the face against Regis back when you were
Hit a
playing.
home run the next at bat.
Yeah. I got that on videotape, too. Foul out of play. Father and son tripping down memory lane here.
It's a radio program, so hitting the face is fine, you know.
Yeah, there's a little blood involved, too, as I remember. So
That was a lot of blood.
yeah, okay. I was trying to be discreet.
Hey, stayed in the game. Stayed in the game with a hit by a pitch in the face. Stayed in the game when I tore my UCL in half.
Yeah. Remember that one. That one's lined to right field. Anthony Lynn charging hard. He'll be able to get there and also hold Patton at second base. So Lynn showing some good speed to cover territory as well to make the catch.
Yeah,
no
nice.
advance on the play.
Nice break by Lind. He, right after that ball, immediate broke, and he came up ready to fire, see if Ben Patton was trying to tag out from second base or if he had broke a little too early. Patton actually did a good job of base running there. Lind had no play, but ball was hit on the screws. Nice job out there in Lind for the first put out of the inning.
Third baseman Ricky Yakamoto, the next batter for the University of Jamestown. Foul back coming at you, Mick. Make the play.
He was right on that one. Yakamoto had a hit in the first game, made a couple of stellar defensive plays at third base. As we said, senior from Kochi, Japan, via way of Skagit Valley College.
Bruins have had a couple of Japanese players over the last couple of years. Center fielder Kanta Kobayashi amongst the hit leaders, season hit leaders for the Bellevue Bruins. Big overhand breaking ball finds the zone, now 1-2.
He just got under that breaking ball a little bit, but got away with it. Yakamoto took that one right kind of in the heart of the zone.
Little chopper back to the mound. Wessels will field it. Throw it over to Elsner at first base for the second out of the inning. On the play, Ben Patton advancing to third. So back to the top of the order. As Chase Burse will try to keep the inning going.
That was a much better curveball than the one prior from Wessels. That was a sharp breaker at the bottom of the zone. Yakamoto couldn't do anything but pound it right into the dirt in front of home plate.
Takumi Maeno, the other player from Japan who graduated last year. Burke trying to bunt his way on and collect an RBI. The ball, however, in foul territory. So it's just Just a strike on the play.
Yeah, that would caught the Bruins off guard a little bit. Third baseman Scott Hansen was back behind the runner.
Normally thinking about covering territory with 2 outs and the runner at third.
And the speedy Burke up at the plate. Struck out looking his first time up.
Settles back in, awaiting the next pitch from Jace Wessels. Blocked up by Logan Grant, using that chest protector to make the save.
That's a great job behind the plate, Grant. This is third inning of this game. Caught 10 innings in the first. So 13 innings behind the plate, and he's still looking spry back there. Oh, to be young again.
Oh, yes. Oh, shut up. You're 37, 36, right? Comebacker. Nice job by Wessels to spear with his glove. Runs it halfway over to first base and retires Burke. No runs on 1 hit. That leadoff double by Patton. No errors and 1 man left on base. Score remains. Bruins on top, 3-0. Again, these teams both very solid offensively. Bellevue averaging 8.5 runs, 8.5 runs per game on the season. Jamestown averaging 8.4 runs per game, but their offenses were shut down in game number 1, that 2-1 Bellevue victory. Bellevue on the season hitting .319, .333. The season batting average, team batting average for Jamestown. And catcher Jordan Singleton got hit by that warm-up pitch from Luke Zimmer, so he has to walk around a little bit to shake that one off. You know, it's not your lucky day when you get hurt during warm-ups.
Right.
So.
He's a big catcher. There's a lot of him to hit back there. You don't see a lot of 6'4", 225 catchers.
No. Back in the day, you did. I mean, you know, a lot of the old Smokey Burgess type guys behind the plate, they were big hoss guys that didn't have a whole lot of mobility, so you didn't throw a lot of pitches in the dirt.
Nobody knows who you're talking about.
All right.
Cal Rowley's pretty big for a pro kid.
Yeah.
That's the only. Well, Sal Perez is massive, but he's a unicorn back there. Hard to compare people.
I was thinking Yogi Berra too, but Yogi wasn't a big guy either. He was like,
yeah, he's tiny, right?
Yeah, he's like 5'8", I think.
Yeah, that's your catcher build.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop very far to block anything.
Bottom of the third inning, top of the order, Scott Hansen, second time facing against Luke Zimmer. Scott, a strikeout victim his first time up. Looking for his first hit of the afternoon.
On base once via hit by pitch. Probably wants to get on a little more fun way than that.
Now 2-0 the count. Scott, the junior out of Portage, Indiana.
.434 on base coming into the game, so guy who is on base a ton atop this Bruin lineup.
That breaking ball misses just up a fuzz. 3-0.
Green light him?
Oh, why not? Got the lead. It's early. It's a 7-inning game. He's looking for his first hit. Taken all the way. On the inner half, strike call, 3-1.
It was a pretty decent pitcher's pitch for 3-0.
Now he'll be turned loose if it's to his liking. Advantage to the hitter. And again on the inside black, 2 perfectly painted pitches by Luke Zimmer. Payoff pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. It's been that kind of a day for Scott Henson. The strikeout is the first out of the inning. And then his next 3 at-bats, he might get hit. So, you know, that's baseball for you.
That's why you green light him. Let him swing at that 3-0 pitch. He could have had the green light. Some people just don't like taking the 3-0 hack.
Yeah. Here's Steven Elsner. Walked his first time up, was on base to score the first run to the head of the 3-run home run by Aiden Macaris. Up and in, ball 1.
He's put some good swings on the ball today, too, without a whole ton to show for it. No hits yet on the day. He's been on base a couple times, fielder's choice hit by pitch, but a couple warning track flyouts in the first one.
Breaking ball hit opposite way. Isaiah Roebuck, the right fielder, about a step shy of the warning track, makes the catch. So the third long fly ball of the afternoon for Elsner.
Now batting the catcher.
Here's the Bruin catcher, Logan Grant.
He almost put one out his first time up. Patton, the left fielder for the Jimmies, caught that one literally with his back in the wall.
Logan, 6'1", 190 pounds. How's that for a good size for a catcher?
There you go.
A lot of power in his bat. And pretty good plate discipline as well.
16 homers, 53 runs batted in so far this season.
Opposite way, has some carry down the left field line, but Patton able to get there right inside the left field foul line. He'll make the catch to retire the side. A 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the third inning for the Bruins after 3 complete. The Bruins 3 and the Jimmies nothing. Bill was also mentioning Logan Grant, number 2 in the Bellevue career walks list. And this season, 24 walks and 24 strikeouts to go along with, as Mickey mentioned, those 16 home runs and 53 runs batted in. Pretty good production from behind the plate.
Yeah, not always a spot in the lineup you expect offensive production out of, especially at the major league level. That's the way the catcher's gone. So getting that much offensive production out of Logan Grant is a plus for this Bruins lineup.
Yeah, traditionally you want to be solid defensively up the middle. The catcher, the second baseman, the shortstop, and the center fielder, you value more their defense. But Bellevue has a couple of guys that can put a charge into the ball as well as play the leather. Heading to the top of the 4th inning, almost halfway through this 7-inning second game of the day. We invite you to come on back tomorrow as well, beginning at noon, for another doubleheader between these same two squads, as the 2025 regular season will come to a close after tomorrow's action. In other action in conference play, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks are taking on the Valley City State University Vikings, and the Dakota State Trojans are taking on the Mayville State Comets to finish up the regular season. Again, congratulations to Dwayne Monlix and his staff and all the players for another conference championship for the Bellevue Bruins. All right, here we go at the top of the 4th inning. The 2-hole hitter, second baseman Alex Alva. Grounded out to first, his first time up in this one. Breaking ball in the zone.
Good leader breaking ball there from Wessels.
Down and in to the left-handed batting second baseman. That one gets through all the way to the screen.
Alva had a hit in his first at-bat of the first game and has not been on base since.
Alva awaits the 1-1 pitch. Up the middle. C.J. Townsend able to get a glove on the ball to knock it down, but he would have been in no position to make a play. So, Mickey, you brought good luck to Alex Alva, mentioning he hadn't had a hit since game 1, inning 1. He gets one there to get on base as the leadoff man. Second inning in a row that the Jimmies have had the leadoff guy on.
Right back through the box, just good piece of hitting on the breaking ball, and Townsend, he said, laid out for that one, kept it in the infield, but Alva was going to beat that one out all the way.
Here's Ryan Muzalar. Shows bunt, puts it up the third base side. Going to be a tough play. Scott Hansen.
Got him.
Just in time to get Ryan Muzalar. Credit Muzalar for the sacrifice on the play. Alex Alva advancing to second.
Alva was looking at third base there, too. Wessels actually did a very good job not really trying to go for that ball, just going to back up his third baseman, covering third there. Keep the runner at bay on that pretty well-placed bunt for a 3-hole power hitter from Muzalar.
A 4-year star, 4-year player for the Jimmies. Here's the cleanup hitter, the catcher, Jordan Singleton. Little waggle of the bat as he awaits the pitch from Jace Wessels on the inside corner. Strike one call.
I don't think Singleton liked that call.
Not so much. But again, he's another one of those guys that's pretty much close to the interior part of the batter's box. And that'll bring head coach Tom Hager down to talk with his cleanup hitter as they'll use their offensive conference here.
Yeah, that looked like it was on the inside corner, a well-placed pitch. But as you said, Singleton's really hugging that inside corner. Didn't agree with the call.
Just a little, maybe a focused timeout for Singleton there.
Yeah, Coach Hager's done a lot of those today. We've seen him come down that third baseline quite a bit, using that one per inning offensive timeout and a good, at least probably half the innings we've played.
Yeah, pretty close. Here's the next pitch, just off the outside edge, 1-1 the count.
Well placed there, though. You got to call maybe slightly off the inside, see if you can get one slightly off the outside.
17 inches across the front of home plate there, and if you can steal another inch or two either direction, you're doing a good job. Good job by the umpiring crew this afternoon.
By the umpire,
yeah. Throw to second base, not in time to catch Alex Alva.
Not a huge lead there by Alva, but
you umpired for a year or two, didn't you?
1 year, yep. Not my favorite gig. As you can tell, it didn't last very long.
Yeah. I lasted about 15 years, I think it was. I tried to add it up after a couple years or so ago, a couple of separate gigs. That was line hard in the right field for the base hit. Alva had to wait to make sure that it got through, so he didn't get a good jump off a second. And so Singleton delivers the one-out single. Runners at the corners. Singleton will be replaced by a courtesy runner who is number 17, Dallas Cummins.
Courtesy ran in the first game as well. Gravel was so deep into right field, almost like the old shift. He was literally on the right field grass. He almost had a play at that ball, and as you said, Alva had to wait, late break, to make sure that got through. And a good throw also from Lind in from right field. Keeps the runner at third, keeps the double play in order to possibly get out of this one unscathed.
Yeah, Gravel will oftentimes play 7 to 10 steps beyond the grass area. Hit and run on, throw to second base, a little bit off the mark. A stolen base for Dallas Cummins.
Good jump from Cummins. Throw from Grant was, as you said, just a little to the shortstop side of the bag. It was a good, strong throw, but Cummins really never made him stop over there at first base on the hit and run and hit, whatever that one was. And
the 18th stolen base of the season for Dallas Cummins. Now 18 out of 21.
Pretty good number there.
Yeah. Fouled at the plate. Off of Tristan Madison. Madison, the DH in game number 2 after catching in game number 1. Madison, a senior from Spokane, Washington. Bellevue with quite a few Washington and Oregon natives on their roster as well. A lot of JUCO ball played up in the Pacific Northwest, fertile recruiting grounds for a lot of schools. Chopped on the ground to third. Scott Hansen has a play at the plate. His throw, however, is a short hop. And that'll put the first run on the board for the Jimmies as Alex Alva scores on the air. Fielder's choice for Madison, and then the air on the throw allows Alva to score. Singleton advancing to third, and Madison to second, or Singleton's courtesy runner Cummins advancing to third. First air of the afternoon against either team.
Yeah, it just wasn't an on-target throw from Hansen, kind of throwing that one off balance on the run a little bit. Maybe just throw that one across the diamond. You're up 3.
So now 2 runners in scoring position for Isaiah Roebuck. That one up and in. Roebuck, the Jimmy right fielder.
High socks, long hair, no gloves. Love it.
There you go. Old school look, minus the hair.
Tell that to you in 1972.
A little later. Foul out of play right side. '72 was my high school days. Back then, the American Legion had haircut rules and things. If you showed up at the ballpark and your hair was too long, they would cut it right there for you. Seriously, there was a guy stationed at the entrance with scissors, and if your hair touched your collar, they'd cut it. Another foul ball opposite way. Seems like a long time ago, but it was a long time ago. That was over 50 years ago. 0-2 the count. Or excuse me, 1-2 the count. Strikeout would be big here with only one out in the inning.
As we've mentioned, Wessels has strikeout stuff.
And staying alive, Roebuck just extended that bat far enough to foul that one out of play over the Bruin dugout.
He was almost on the run when he hit that ball back into the net towards the dugout. Really protecting. That was off the outside corner, but not taking any chances.
Yep. Kind of like a slap hitter in softball. The 1-2 pitch.
Got him.
Got him for the strikeout for the second out of the inning. So that strikeout is big, the third strikeout of the game for Jace Wessels. And that'll bring to the plate left fielder Ben Patton, who doubled down the left field line his first time up.
Yeah, that was huge, and it shows the trust he has in Grant to be able to throw a couple breaking balls with 2 strikes. Neither of them bounced. Grant made a good job of catching that one, but into the dirt, you know he's going to keep it in front of him. Big strikeout.
Fastball outside corner, strike one called. Jamestown trying to not let this opportunity escape them. Scott Hansen fields it, across the diamond, on the money in time. So after making an error earlier in the innings, Scott Hansen rights the ship and gets the out to retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 big base runners left on base. After 3.5, the score, the Bruins 3 and the Jimmies 1. Hey, we want to wish happy birthday to Brutus the Bruin, the Bellevue University mascot. In fact, we sang happy birthday to Brutus, and we enjoyed some cupcakes in his honor. So, Brutus was born in 1966, the year that Bellevue University began. He's now a big part of the Bellevue program. The new look Bellevue Brutus the Bruin was unveiled on Wednesday as the Bruins inaugurated the new athletic field house with an open house ceremony. And so congratulations, happy birthday to Brutus the Bruins, and congratulations to Bellevue University with the opening of the new athletic field house that will serve many of the Bruin sports. And plans are continuing to build a new outdoor athletics facility that will provide new home fields for Bellevue baseball, Bellevue softball, and Bellevue soccer. Work should be getting underway soon at that complex just to the northeast of Offutt Air Force Base. Bruins trying to get that run back in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be center fielder Jake Lacey to start things off. Lacey with the single his first time up in this one. Jake's been on base today a lot. First pitch inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's been up to the plate 6 times. This is now his 7th. He's been on base every single time, either with a hit or a walk.
I'm not going to say anything to jinx him.
Okay, you want that streak to continue. Good man. You know about the announcer's jinx, huh?
Yeah, nothing to say.
Breaking ball in the zone. I once did a high school game up in Blair. The kid threw a perfect game. And once I got to like the 5th inning, it was all I could do to stop mentioning things related to that. Lacey hits it in the air to left field. Patton on the run toward the line, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning.
That was your fault, not mine.
Yep, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, got that one off the label a little bit there. Just didn't sound right, didn't come off the bat very well. A little lazy fly ball into left field.
Ben Patton been very busy in left field. That's his 4th put out of the game.
Yeah, the lone new starter for game 2 from game 1. So the freshest legs out there. Probably not the guy you should be testing then, right?
Here's DH, Aiden Macaris.
Macaris didn't test him at all first time up as he deposited one into right center field for a 3-run home run.
Gave the Bruins a good start in the 1st inning. Swings and misses at that breaking ball, 1-1 the count.
He's trying for another one.
Yeah.
After almost wearing that first pitch. You got to do that after you knock one out. And
busting your buttons after doing that.
yeah.
Another breaking ball. This one bounces, 2-1.
He's only got so many games left to try to catch the top 2 home run hitters of the Bruins. So, take some big swings.
That's ball well hit into right center field. On the run, the center fielder won't have time to make the catch as it one hops the center field fence. And Aiden Macaras, after a home run in the first, a double in the fourth. So again, to his brother and dad listening in, Aiden swinging that hot bat in game number 2.
And it's a much better approach in game 2 than he had in game 1. Coach Monlick's probably gave him a little talking to and said, hey, they're not throwing you inside. Just serve that ball into right center field. Now he's 2 for 2, 2 extra base hits, 3 RBIs, a run scored.
The old go with the pitch.
Yeah.
Here's Bruin left fielder Elijah Tanner. Tanner popped up his first time up in this one. Pitch from Zimmer down low. Luke Zimmer 6-3 on the season for the Jimmies, a 5.61 earned run average coming into today's action. Down the right field line, first baseman Muzalar giving chase, but he can't make the play over the shoulder. Just another stride or two, and he'd have been in a better position, but he couldn't quite get there in time.
Hat came flying off, gave it his all. Tough play to make. Macaras was ready to tag and advance to third if he did catch that one, too. A little basket style would have been tough to spin and fire.
So everything remains the same except the count, now 1-1. Crowd of Jamestown fans making their way down to the Omaha Bellevue area for this weekend series. They've been pretty vocal at times today. Overhand breaking ball in the zone on the pitch from Zimmer. Now 1-2.
Continued to just throw majority breaking balls in this game today. You know, he's almost used that fastball as a secondary offering.
Interesting look on the throw to second base.
Not a convincing inside turn there. About hit his chin with the left leg kicking up into the air. Macaras not a guy I don't think you have to worry about trying to take third on you either. Only 3 stolen base attempts on the year. Is 3 for 3.
Picking his spots to run. Another foul ball down the right field way by Tanner.
He's worried about him out there too. Macaras dancing around a little bit, trying to get into his head. That's just good baseball.
Yep. Take the pitcher's concentration off just a little bit. Let him leave a pitch up in the zone for Isaiah. And another visit from head coach Tom Hager as he'll head out to the mound to talk with his pitcher and infield crew.
Interesting timing on him.
Yeah.
Is it 1 and 2 after guys just kind of weakly fouled off a couple of...
Don't know if they're having trouble with the signs or whatever, but Zimmer just kind of stepped off and shook his head after that last pitch. And
he kind of looks like he's talking almost more to the catcher and the first baseman than he is to his pitcher. We saw him have a offensive meeting with Singleton as well in the top half of the last inning. A lot of mound visits, a lot of offensive visits today from the Jamestown coaching staff.
You got them, you might as well use them, I guess.
Yeah.
Sean Johnson, home plate umpire, back out to the mound to break up the conference. The visit charge to Jamestown is Elijah Tanner patiently waiting at home plate. Elijah was both a football and baseball player at Whitworth University, where he started his college career. Pitch misses low and in.
And there was that fastball again, is that kind of secondary offering. Hey, we've seen breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. Here's a little fastball on the inside on 1 and 2 when you're expecting that to be a bouncing slider.
Singleton setting up outer half of the plate. And Macaras going with the pitch, hit in the air to left field. That has some carry, and it's gone. It wasn't a 400-footer, but it was enough to get over the left field fence. A 2-run home run for left fielder Elijah Tanner makes it a 5-1 ball game. You were teasing Macaras about not maybe being moving on stealing third, but he was on the play. Elijah Tanner turned on the inside pitch and drove it over the fence for his 3rd home run of the year.
Yeah, Macaras was going on that one. Then had to run about halfway back and then had to run again. Got a whole bunch of running that one. But yeah, great job. Just turn on that inside fastball from Elijah Tanner. And
got the distance to clear the yellow stripe at the top of the fence.
Just over the fence, just over the outstretched arm of the left fielder,
Patton.
He'll take it for his third of the year.
Anthony Lind goes after the breaking ball, behind the count now, 0-2.
40 RBIs for Tanner now as well.
First year as a Bellevue Bruin. Anthony Lind goes down on 3 pitches. The strikeout is the third of the game for starting pitcher Luke Zimmer. Now 2 outs in the inning, and second baseman Nick Gravel will step to the plate.
Gravel's put the bat on the ball really well today and has almost nothing to show for it. Hard line out to the center fielder the last time up, lined out to the third baseman in the first game, grounded out hard to the second baseman in the first game. He's due.
That's right.
He's seen the ball well. He's put good swings on it. He just hasn't been able to find a hole.
You're not always rewarded in baseball with that solid swing. Gravel, backhanded play at first by the first baseman. The toss to the pitcher, executed by Muzalar to Zimmer to rob Nick Gravel of another possible base hit. 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. After 4 complete, it's the Bellevue Bruins 5 and the Jamestown Jimmies 1. So over halfway through this 7-inning contest, the Bruins enjoying a 4-run lead as Jace Wessels back to the mound. He was almost perfect the first time through the order. Surrendered 1 run last inning, but he's back to work, trying to sniff out another victory.
Defensive changes mixed. Gravel to short, and then number 2 in a second for CJ.
All right, for CJ.
Yep.
All right, we mentioned earlier our player from Brazil, Rafael Nakandakari, enters the game at second base. He'll be hitting in the spot of C.J. Townsend.
Moving over to shortstop, number 14, Nick Gravel. And into the game playing second base, number 2, Rafael.
And Nick Gravel will move over from second base to shortstop. So Nakandakari in at second. In the batting order spot of C.J. Townsend, Nick Gravel from second to shortstop. So Rafael Nakandakari, a 5'8" junior from Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. As Jace Wessels back to work in the top of the 5th inning, it'll be shortstop Landon Runge. Breaking ball, strike 1. Wessels working ahead of most of the batters this afternoon, just as game 1 starter Parker McMahon did. Another overhand breaking ball hit toward right center field. Lacey on the move. He'll make the catch over near the scoreboard for the first out of the 5th inning.
It was a long run for Lacey to get into the gap there. He made it look pretty easy, the long strider out there in center field.
Very smooth, very smooth.
Number 7, Ricky Akamoto.
Jake named a NAIA preseason All-American candidate by the website NAIA Ball. Here's Ricky Akamoto. 9-hole hitter, grounded out on a comebacker to the pitcher Jace Wessels his first time up. Breaking ball misses low, 1-0 the count, excuse me. Words suddenly become difficult to come by. Hit in the air on the infield, who's going to take charge? It looks like Scott Hansen will call for it and make the catch. Jace Wessels originally wanted to make the play, and then Hansen called him off, so Jace just kind of vacated the area, still a smile on his face.
He looked excited to try to catch that, and then he bolted out of there like he wanted nothing to do with it. Probably didn't want to run into Hansen and lose that battle.
That's right. I got it, you take it.
Yep.
Back to the top of the order, 3rd time through for the Jimmies against Jace Wessels. Chase Burke takes ball 1.
Do you like either of those?
There's a fastball right down the middle.
Bellevue's kept Burke in check today. Came in with over 500 on base percentage, and he did make it on base twice in the first game, but limited that damage. 0 for 2 so far in the second contest.
Breaking ball misses away. 2-1 the count. First 2 men in this 5th inning have been retired on fly balls. Burke trying to keep the inning alive for Jamestown. Fouled out of play over the first base side. Breaking ball misses wide. Good location for the count. Now runs full.
No reason not to go right at him here, up 4, 3-2 out. And he does.
Hit in the air to right side. Anthony Lind calling for it. Calls off Nakandakari. And it'll be Lind who will make the catch. So 3 fly balls in the inning. A 1-2-3 affair. Jace Wessels looking strong for the Bruins. After 4.5, our score remains the Bellevue Bruins 5 and the Jamestown Jimmies 1. Jimmy's offense with 1 run in game number 1 that went 10 innings. Only 1 run thus far through the first 5 innings in game number 2. So coming in, hitting .333 on the season. But the Bruins pitching staff and defense have really stymied their effort this afternoon.
Yeah, Wessels in the second game has done exactly what the Bruins need of him. You know, they pitched very well in the first game. The second game, hey, we're going to spot you 3 runs in the first inning, so just get ahead of batters, stay ahead of batters, put guys out, and he's done a great job of it.
And the Bruins, after winning game number 1 in a exciting fashion to secure another championship in the North Star Athletic Association, they could have come out lethargically in game number 2. Hey, we just won another championship. Hooray, hurrah, good for us. But they went right back to work. Wessels on the mound and the offense putting up 5 runs through the first 4 innings, getting the job done.
Yeah, looking even more confident in the plate into this second contest, as you said, not resting on their laurels, putting good swings on the baseball, and Wessels has really been dealing. He's got 3 strikeouts, only giving up the 1 run. It was unearned, I believe.
Yes, off that air.
Off the air, so.
Here's Rafael Nakandakari, his first at-bat of the afternoon. He, too, joined the Bruins squad in early March at the trimester. He became eligible.
Hitting .300 on the nose. It was his 8th appearance of the season.
Dwayne Monlick's a little tardy getting down the third base line. That blur running by the camera was him. Down low.
Nakandakari, as you said, from Brazil by way of Lakeland Community College.
Comes up empty on that swing. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
Hit .451 as a freshman at Lakeland, did Nakandakari.
He did the PA duties 1 game earlier this season. He speaks English, Portuguese, and Spanish. Grounded to short, the throw not in time. Nakandakari turns the corner, heads to second base, and he will slide in safely there. Single E6 is how Bill will score that. A tough play for shortstop Runge. But he'll unfortunately get the error on the throw, so each team now with 1 error in game 2 after playing errorless ball in game 1. So Nakandakari in scoring position is the leadoff guy for Scott Hansen. Let's see if Scott can do something this at-bat. He's had a struggle this afternoon. 4 strikeouts and a couple of ground balls to the shortstop. Showing bunt here, pulls it back as a pitch comes in high.
Be interesting to see if he squares again. Sometimes you kind of square, you see that ball all the way into the mitt. Okay, reset things a little bit. We're going to let you swing on the second one. We'll give you a strike. Then you might square once it's 1-1, 2-1.
Again, the step off, the fake throw to second.
I mean, Nakandakari's 2 steps off that base.
Yeah. He's bouncing around a little bit out there, just trying to distract the pitcher. Maybe that's what.
But if you're squaring to bunt, he's clearly not going to be stealing.
Again, scoring a bunt. This time, put up down the third base line. Zimmer off the mound with the glove to throw to first.
He hold the bag.
And they'll say the second baseman, Alva, just kept his toe on the bag. So credit Scott Hansen with the sacrifice on the play. 1-4 on the put out at first base. And now the umpire is going to have a little meeting here. They're going to talk and see if the home plate umpire had a better angle to see if Alex Alva had kept his foot on the base.
Yeah, first base umpire can clearly tell if the ball beat him there or not. For home plate might have a better view of if his foot slipped off the base or not. Call stands.
So a runner at third with 1 out. For Bruin first baseman Steven Elsner.
Now batting the first base.
Been kind of a frustrating day for Steven as well.
He's probably 20 feet away from having 3 home runs today, and he
Yeah.
No hits to show for it, I believe.
No hits at all. He's been on base twice, a walk and a hit by pitch. Was it 6? 6 home runs last week.
I'm going to bet he's trying to hit one here.
All of his hits in the series against Dakota State last week were home runs.
Big swing right through that one.
Back to his baby blue bat with matching baby blue gloves. We were teasing him about that earlier in the season. Lays off that breaking ball down low. Bounced up, nice block by Singleton behind the dish. That's lined and over the shortstop head for the base hit in left field. Runge gave it an attempt. Yeah, might have just ticked off the top of his glove. If he were 1 or 2 inches taller, he'd have had that for the out. Instead, it's a base hit and a run batted in for Steven Elsner. Bruins lead it now 6-1.
I think I saw a smoke trail behind that ball, too. That was absolutely hit on the screws by Elsner. First hit of the day.
Power stroke for the Bruin first baseman. And before Logan Grant, we've got another visit from head coach Tom Hager. And it looks like we're going to have a call to the bullpen. And Luke Zimmer's day is done after 4 1/3 innings.
Looks like number 34, if I'm seeing correctly here.
Yeah, 34. You are right, young man.
Peyton Hochhalter, a freshman from Jamestown, North Dakota.
Your mom would like that German last name, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now in the pitch for Jamestown, number 34, Peyton Hochhalter.
2.70 ERA, and this will be his 7th appearance. He's 1-0 on the season in 6 2/3 innings pitched. He does have a save. No game started, so pitching exclusively out of relief for the Jimmies.
I like how you get the purple and gold, the Bellevue colors for your highlighters for your stat sheet over there. Very impressive.
Of course. Got to be prepared.
So Hochhalter will get his warm-up tosses as the Bruins continue to try to pull further away from the Jimmies in this one. Now 6 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for the Bruins, 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error for the Jimmies. Hey, a text in the queue. Congratulations, Bruins, on winning the NSAA championship from Brian and Sarah Sheaver, watching in Kingwood, Texas. Thanks for the great broadcast, as always. Well, thank you for that compliment. It was good to meet you both last 2 weekends ago on Senior Day. They made the trip up from the Lone Star State. Austin, a 4-year member of the Bellevue program. Here, more compliments coming our way, Mick. Really appreciate your commentary on the Bruins games. Well, thank you. I'm not going to read the rest of it on air, but appreciate the kind words from Papa Mac, Aiden Macris's dad, listening in up in Ontario.
He's got to be happy the way Aiden's played this second game.
Yeah. Aiden has worked his way into the starting lineup.
Aiden probably happy. He'll get to talk a little smack to his brother after this weekend series. Sure, his brother's proud of him.
Yeah, so an online Macaris family reunion here on the Bruins Sports Network as Logan Grant, the first batter to face the new pitcher, Peyton Hochhalter.
Logan's flown out to the left fielder twice in this one. First one he put a charge into. Second one a little lazy fly ball out that way.
First pitch misses outside. Yeah, Logan's gone opposite field quite a bit today. He's a guy that can hit the ball any part of the park.
He's the one power bat for Bellevue that has the wind helping him, too, and he's the only one that's been going opposite field against the wind.
1-1 the count as that pitch clips the outside edge.
Elsner, not much of a lead over there at first base. Not really threatening to run as they throw over.
Still has that left arm, wrapped up, suffered a bicep strain back in March. Took him out of the first base position for a while. Hit and run, kind of skewed the other way. Nice play by the third baseman, and now it's a foot race, and it's going to be one.
Elsner can move for a big boy.
Yes, he did. Hit and run was on. A nice play to Pickett on the short hop by Ricky Akamoto. He retires Logan Grant on first, but Steven Elsner kept running as the third base area was not occupied, and he beat Akamoto and pitcher Peyton Hockhalter on the race to third.
You know, we mentioned it earlier that Wessels covered third on that bunt attempt where his third baseman, Scott Hansen, made the play. Hockhalter was caught watching the baseball a little bit there and gives up another base to Elsner. Akamoto made a great play on the pick and just couldn't get back to third base. His momentum taking him towards first.
Here's Jake Lacey, first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play off the curveball.
And Hockhalter is a freshman from Jamestown, so something he might learn with a little more time.
A little more experience, yeah.
Teaching moment.
Just sounds like your mom and dad were both teachers, huh?
Something like that.
Hit in the air to the right side. Second baseman Alex Alva settling underneath it. He'll look it into his glove and catch it to retire the side. The Bruins pick up one run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. 5 innings in the book, 2 innings to go. The Bruins 6 and the Jimmies 1. Russell Buckmaster sent along his greetings once again. Thanks again for that nice compliment, Buck. The last Buckmaster, his grandson, a first-year member of the Bellevue University squad. As Jace Wessels back to the mound, looking for somebody to throw to. Usually when Logan Grant is one of the latter outs of the inning, we got a backup guy coming in to play catch with the pitcher, but don't know if we're going to have a change here or not. Nope, here comes Logan out of the dugout. Takes a while to get all that gear on. So Jace back to work. He'll be facing the 2, 3, 4 holes in the Jamestown Jimmy lineup. Three hits, 3 strikeouts for Jace Wessels through the first 5 innings of play today. Jace has 2 complete games to his credit on the year.
His last 2 starts, I believe, were both complete games and wins.
So Bruins got off to kind of a rough start on the season. Their early season trips down to Oklahoma, they were like 1-5, 1-6 on that road trip, losing 4 of the 5 games by 1 run. But the offense has perked up since then. The pitching staff has solidified, and here we are on April 25th with a 33-13 record. Alex Alva leads it off. Looks at a ball 1, first offering from Wessels. Up the middle, base hit. Solid single to center. Alex Alva picks up his 2nd consecutive hit. He has half of his team's total in this 2nd game.
And the only run scored for the Jimmies in this one as well. I believe he scored the only run in the first game for the Jimmies too. Double check.
You are correct.
Yeah, in the first inning. So he's got 3 hits on the day. He's been the best offensive member for the Jimmies.
Here's a 3-hole hitter, first baseman Ryan Muzalar, who the Bruins have kept in check most of the game. That one's bounced to the plate. Grant can't field it cleanly. Alva running on the pitch. He'll get credit for the stolen base. Alva now with 20 stolen bases on the year. 20 out of 23 attempts. Runner in scoring position with nobody out for Muzalar. Sacrifice bunt his last time up. Second pitch is upstairs. Now 2-0 the count. Muzalar will be looking for a pitch to his liking, something he can drive.
Yeah, as you said, Bruins have really kept him in check today. Outstanding hitter, Muzalar.
4:34 coming into today's action.
Inside turn from Wessels. Nothing doing.
Batting average is tops in the North Star coming into today. He's second, or excuse me, was tied for first in runs batted in, now second. And fourth in the conference in home runs.
And only one hit between the two games so far, just a lazy single.
Fastball hits the top of the zone, 2-1 to count.
Bruins have to be happy about that. A lot easier to win these games, too, when the offensive engine of this Jimmy's team is kept at check.
Wessels comes set, just below the shoulders. Double look, the runner back to second base. Fastball misses up and away. So again, hitter's advantage for Muzalar here with the 3-1 count.
Wessels being very careful with him with that open base at first after the stolen base from Alva. Hasn't walked anyone yet, and this one has struck out 3.
Long look in from Logan Grant. Just off the outside edge, Muzalar will draw the walk, as you predicted, Mickey, working him very carefully with the open base.
Yeah, no reason to give him one to hit out of the park and make it more of a ball game here.
That'll bring up Jordan Singleton, working as the catcher in this game. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single, his body of work.
Especially with Singleton come up, he's only batting .262 on the year. Probably someone you feel a little more comfortable pitching against as opposed to the .434 from Muzalar.
And 13 home runs for Muzalar and 5 for Singleton. So if you're going to pick your poison in the middle of the order, that's probably what you want to do. Bruins now looking to maybe turn a double play. That's hit in the air to center field. Jake Lacey going back. He'll get to the warning track, and he'll stop and make the catch. Both runners will tag. The throw comes into second base.
Yeah, that was a
and
close
slap tag, but not in time. So Jordan Singleton gives it a long ride. Alva will tag up at second to go to third. Muzalar will tag up at first to go to second. As you said, a close play there. Muzalar almost came off the bag. If Nakan Dakar would have kept the tag on him, it might have been an overslide and a putout.
Yeah, pretty gutsy play there for fly ball to center field to try to tag up from first. Usually you only see that, into one of the gaps where it's a longer throw. And yeah, almost got him at second. Closer play than they probably would have liked. Singleton put a charge into that one.
Yep.
Any other part of the ballpark, and that one's probably gone, but just held him to the fairly shallow center field here at Brown Park. As you said, no distances posted on the outfield balls.
Back when I was a kid playing here, it was 320 down the lines and 345 to straightaway center field. But when the renovations came, they moved center field back to what we think is about 380 feet. So another offensive conference for head coach Tom Hager with Tristan Madison, the DH. First pitch, Grant throws his shoulder to block that one and prevent the advance and a run.
Still hopping back there after in his 16th inning of work behind the plate today.
Logan also played goalie as a high school hockey player.
Kind of looked like it there.
We've seen examples of that all throughout his 3 years here at Bellevue University. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the outside edge, 1-1. Just caught a stitch on that outside black.
That's got to be a lot of skills that transfer back and forth, goalie and catcher.
Oh, yeah. Tom Hager not happy with that last call.
Looked a little out, but we'll take it.
That pitch missing wide. 2-1. Madison looking for his first hit of the afternoon.
Yeah, it was his ground ball to the third baseman that the Bruins then threw away for the lone run scored by the Jimmies in this one. So it reached on that fielder's choice error.
Mm-hmm. But he would get credit for an RBI on that because there were not 2 outs on the play. That wouldn't have ended the inning, so.
True.
Tardy on that, high feet from Wessels.
Yeah, learn from that if you're Wessels. No reason to mess around with another breaking ball if you can't catch up to the G's.
Full count, payoff pitch upcoming. Served into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Jake Lacey able to get there, but then he kind of bobbles it, allowing the runner to try for second base. The throw, however, is not in time as Madison slid around the tag of C.J. Town, or that's Nick Gravel at short. 2 runs come in on the play. Tristan Madison gets credit for 2 more runs batted in as Alva and Musalar score.
That's why I didn't think he needed to go back to the curveball there. His bat couldn't catch up to the heat. You gave him one he could catch up to, deposits it into right center field.
First earned run given up in 17 2/3 innings by Jace Wessels. Are you scoring that double or single in air? Okay. Bill's going to give Madison credit for a double on that last play as he'll look at the replay, maybe decide something differently.
Pinch hitter here for Isaiah Roebuck is number 31, Varen Sabino. We saw him pinch hit in the first game as well.
We'll pencil his name in the book. First pitch swinging, foul hit up in the air to the left side. Gravel and Tanner both calling for it. It'll be the outfielder, Elijah Tanner, calling off his infielder to make the catch for the second out of the inning. And I just realized, I'm sorry, I screwed you out of a couple of innings of play-by-play.
Oh, it's all good. This game was moving right along.
Yeah, first game kind of dragged for a little bit with a lot of base runners early on. And then it went into extra innings. So anyway, this one a little quicker paced, even though there's more runs. Here's left fielder Ben Patton. 2 outs in the inning, 6-3 our score. Nice fastball by Wessels to get ahead.
Probably not what Jamestown was looking for out of the pinch hitter. Their first pitch, weak little pop up to the left side. Maybe C1.
Get more comfortable.
Yeah.
Patton 1 for 2. Little jam job might be a tough play. Here comes Gravel charging hard. And his throw to first not in time. Nick did everything he could on that, but just too slowly hit. An infield single for Ben Patton, now a 2 for 3 day.
Yeah, right off the thumbs there. Yeah, just perfectly placed. Got it past the pitcher, but Gravel, tough play. You almost have to just try to barehand that one and get rid of it to even have a chance. Made it as close as he could.
Oh, Jimmy's at the corners with 2 away. As shortstop Landon Runge steps in. Runge 0 for 2. A base hit here could make it a little bit more interesting. 3-1 cushion. First pitch swinging again. Flare to the right side. Rafael Nakandakari out to make the play. And the side is retired. 2 runs in the inning for the Jimmies on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. After 5.5, our score, the Bruins 6 and the Jimmies 3. You're listening to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. 2 Mick Krupskis coming at you this afternoon.
We did go back and add an error on Lacey on the ball. There.
Okay, so Bill relooked at the play, and on Tristan Madison, it'll be a single and an E8 on the play as Lacey bobbled the ball, allowing the runner to take an extra 90 feet. All right, we've got Peyton Hochhalter back in on the mound for his second inning of relief work.
Number 11, Isaiah Roebuck.
And Isaiah Roebuck will re-enter the game in right field after being pinch hit for by Sabino. Oh, a 3-run lead for the Bruins. Looking to try to add a little bit more insurance in this bottom of the 6th inning. Macarus, Tanner, and Lynn, the first 3 hitters scheduled in the inning.
Couple of home run hitters here amongst the first 2 in this ball game. Macarus swung it really well in the second contest.
Aiden and Elijah, the 5 and 6 hole hitters for the Bruins, have gone yard today, providing 5 of the 6 Bruin runs. All right, Aiden Macarus, a home run and a double. 3 runs batted in. He'll lead things off for the Bruins. Here's the pitch from Peyton Hochhalter. Chopper, first pitch down the third base line. They're going to say foul ball. Look foul from here. Once the ball gets past the bag, it's the base umpire's call, fair or foul. Home plate umpire Sean Johnson made no call because it was the field umpire's determination, foul ball.
Everybody looked like they were kind of waiting for them to call.
Yeah, waiting for somebody to call it. Yeah.
Akamoto included as he made the play, kind of. You sure? Okay, I'll throw it.
Yeah, it looked foul from here. I mean, we don't have the best angle looking right down the line, but
yeah, you can't see chalk or dirt flying up on this field turf either. Makes it a little harder.
Coming to you from John Stella Field at Brown Park in Omaha, Nebraska. That one goes all the way to the screen, 1-1 the count, just kind of a whiff that time by Singleton. Looked fairly close to the zone.
I think he crossed him up there. I think Singleton was expecting maybe a slider, and that was just straight heat on the outside corner. Went right past his face mask.
1-1. Now 2-1. Jamestown fans, if you're wondering who John Stella is, well, John was a longtime supporter of baseball in South Omaha. John was a member of the Omaha South class of 1950-something. Got drafted by the San Francisco Giants. Macaris puts another charge into one in straightaway center field. Going back to the fence is Burke, and he won't be able to make a play as it's another home run for Aiden Macaris. His second of the day, his third extra base hit of the day.
Macaris got a fastball up and out and just took it to dead center field right towards the batter's eye for his second of the ball game. He's coming for the home run leaders for the Bruins. That puts him up to 13, just behind the 16 of Logan Grant. Have yourself a ball game, Mr. Macaris.
So Aiden, man, this is one of those games you'll remember for a long, long time as he drove that one to straightaway center field.
You love seeing it, too. He had a tough first game, had a great walk in the rally in the bottom of the 10th, and carried over that momentum and just swinging a hot bat now.
Elijah Tanner, the next Bruin up. Breaking ball misses low. Elijah, a two-run home run his last time up to left field. Just fell in the space between the left field fence and the batting cage out that direction. That pitch in tight, 2-0. Right-hander throwing in the Jamestown dugout if Hochhalter should need help. Down the third base line, Akamoto makes the grab. Throw to first base, gets past the first baseman on the long hop. E5 on the play as Elijah Tanner will head down to second base. And another Bruin in scoring position, 7-3 our score.
Yeah, gloved it well. Took a little too much time, I think. Patted the glove an extra time. Thought about the throw a little too much. And as we've mentioned, this field turf, you don't always get the big hop. It'll kind of skip on you on those throws. And first baseman Muzalar, he just didn't stay down on that ball, squirted right underneath him, and Tanner takes second base.
And another pop out of the dugout from one of the coaches for Jamestown as another mound visit here. The Bruins, one run in the inning, a runner in scoring position, still nobody out as the Bruins have regained a 4-run lead. Anthony Lind patiently waiting at home plate. I mentioned earlier that Anthony was recognized as a conference scholar athlete. 9 different Bellevue baseball players earned that award with a 3.5 GPA, at least 1 year as a member of the institution, and they meet the other eligibility requirements, as we'll have another call to the bullpen. Mick will find it out in just a second. Here are the 9 baseball players: Jared Eifler, Stephen Elsner, Logan Grant, Jake Lacey, Anthony Lind, Parker McMahon, Kenji Miller, Austin Sheaver, and C.J. Townsend. So congratulations to those guys, not only for their play on the baseball field, but for their work in the classroom. Mickey, who we got?
The new pitcher for the Jimmies is number 16, Elias Harris. 6'2" freshman right-hander out of Moorhead, Minnesota. This will be his 7th appearance on the season. Carries a 1.59 ERA in 5 2/3 innings pitched.
So he'll become the third pitcher of the game for Jamestown. The Jimmies used 3 guys in game number 1 as well. So they're kind of running through their staff with still 2 more games to go tomorrow afternoon. So Elias Harris.
Second freshman pitcher in a row we've seen out of the bullpen in this one for Jamestown. So we said 7th appearance on the season. Pitched last weekend against Dickinson State, went 2 innings. No runs, 2 strikeouts. Hasn't given up a run since March 8th. He's only pitched 3 times since then, but on a bit of a roll. Only 1 run given up on the season so far, as you said. Hasn't pitched a ton, but done a good job when called upon.
Gaining that experience that you talked about a little bit in game number 1. Yes, it is another Krupski with the face for radio. Thank you, Greg. All right, back to the action. Anthony Lind gets ready to step in. Anthony 0 for 2 in this one after delivering that game-winning suicide squeeze bunt in game number 1. Bruins a 16-1 conference record now. Their only loss to Dakota State last weekend in the opener. That stopped their 17-game winning streak. Lind squares the bunt. Akamoto tries to make a play and the foul ball up the third base line, but can't quite get there. Anthony's job, try to advance the base runner by either bunting him over or maybe hitting behind to the right side. Bruins are happier that his first bunt attempt today was better than that second one. The 0-1 pitch on its way. Breaking ball. Anthony tries to go opposite way with that one, but it's fouled out of play.
Good approach there. It's slider away. You want to take that to the right field side. Just couldn't quite get that one to fall in play. Lind had a very good first game. Been a little behind the 8 ball at the plate here in the second. Ground out and a strikeout. Harris very deliberate on the hill after we've seen some quick workers so far in these first couple games.
Upstairs with that one, 1-2.
Especially Wessels. He gets that ball and goes. Harris kind of coming set, getting signs, taking his time, making sure he's comfortable. Probably a smart thing to do, as we said, a freshman.
Don't rush into things. And timeout requested by the catcher, Jordan Singleton. He's going to talk to his pitcher probably about which signal sequence to use with the runner at second base.
Well, and if Singleton's not their normal starting catcher, he probably hasn't had Harris throw to him a whole ton. This might be a bit of a new battery, new connection.
Anthony Lind in his 4th year as a Bellevue Bruin. Didn't play a whole lot his first year. Was able to qualify for a redshirt season there. So he's got 1 more year of eligibility for the Bruins. Throw to second base, kind of an awkward move, but
it's about the 7th or 8th inside turn we've seen towards second today. None of them even close to effective. Not a move you're going to get people on very often. Sometimes you do that just to see if the guy's going to show bunt. Lind obviously not doing that here with 2 strikes.
Breaking ball, fouled away once again.
Good piece of hitting there from Lind. That was a late breaker that he last second said, oh no, that's a strike, and threw his bat at it. Stay alive to see another pitch.
Kept the hands back, kept the body weight back. Elias Harris on the mound. Looks like it's darkening up a little bit.
Yeah, Singleton's gone to the away from the finger signs. He's going to the slapping the mask in each side of the shin guards and the chest protector, which you go to a lot when pitcher has trouble seeing, differentiating the finger signs.
Don't think they're going to turn the lights on, but 5:50 Central Time. Swing and a miss, and the ball in the dirt. Blocked up by Singleton. Has to record the out at first base. So the strikeout, 2-3 in the book for the putout. Tanner remains at second base.
Yeah, good pitch there. Bottom fell out of that one from Harris. Lind couldn't spoil another one after spoiling the first couple offerings with 2 strikes.
So one man faced by Harris gets him on the strikeout, and now Nick Ravel, the shortstop, will step in.
feel like we've been saying he's due for the past 3-4 hours now.
It'll have to feel the phone call on Monday.
0 for 2 in this one.
I've called worse.
Runner goes. Throw to third base, right on the money, but again to the backside slide. It'll be a stolen base for Elijah Tanner. The throw was there in time, but the little swim move to the backside of the base, and now here comes head coach Tom Hager to talk with our third base umpire.
Yeah, the ball beat him by plenty. Akamoto seemed shocked that he was called safe. He must have thought he got the tag on him. Tanner immediately stood up. Seemed like I swung right around that one.
Yeah. Third base umpire is Joe Cassidy, who was behind the plate in game number 1. So Coach Hager gets his words in, then heads back to the Jamestown bench.
Yeah, clearly didn't agree with that one.
Nope.
Singleton didn't look very thrilled either. He threw an absolute dart down there, beat the guy by, a step and a half, and doesn't get a caught stealing for it.
Yep, no credit for that. As the infield comes in to try to cut down the run at the plate. So Gravel's going to try to lift something past that line of infielders. Off the outside edge. 2-0 the count on the Bruins shortstop.
Yeah, infield drawn in here. This is good for Gravel. You just got to lift. Even if a jam job gets over the infield, you're bringing home a run. That's the hit. He's hit it hard and had nothing to show for it. Maybe he's due for a little weak one as he fouls it straight back, right on that fastball. That's how the baseball gods even you out,
That's right. Sometimes you get a hit when it's a little squibbler, and sometimes you hit a screamer right at somebody, and that's been the case for Nick today. 2-1, 1 out, 1 on. The runner at third base, Elijah Tanner. Bruins showing bunt again. A great job getting the bat on the ball. Contact there by Nick Gravel. Reached out on a pitch that was way wide and somehow able to put it in fair territory for the sacrifice and the RBI as Elijah Tanner scores the 8th run of the game for the Bruins.
Yeah, incredible bunt. That ball might have bounced if he wouldn't have got his bat on it and deadened it into a perfect spot right in front of home plate as well.
And Singleton bouncing out from behind the plate to make the play. Now 2 outs in the inning for Rafael Nakandakari.
1 for 1 so far. Scored a run.
Raised his batting average by about 90 points now. Instead of 3 for 10, he's 4 for 11. Breaking ball, nicely tossed up there by Harris. Nakandakari comes up empty, now an 0-2 count. Chopper down the third base line.
Gonna have to get rid of it. Good throw.
Akamoto does make the play. 5-3 to retire the side, but the Bruins put up 2 more insurance runs in the inning on 1 hit, 1 run. 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left on base as we head to the 7th and final inning of today's doubleheader. It's the Bellevue Bruins 8 and the Jamestown Jimmies 3. All right.
Wessel's back out there. They're going to let him try to close out his own ball game. If he finishes it off, it'd be at least 3rd straight complete game. 4th straight complete game if he finishes this one off. Yeah.
And a couple of those, the 9-inning variety as well. So that's an even bigger accomplishment to get those extra 6 outs.
2 of them also had a 6-inning complete game that they won 30-2 against Dickinson State back on April 6th.
That was a game when everything went right for the Bruin batters. I think that's the 3rd year in a row the Bruins have scored 30 or more runs in a game. The record is 40. Whew. I remember that was one of my first years of broadcasting. They beat Concordia 40-5 at the old Westgate Field. Leading it off in the top of the 7th inning, third baseman Ricky Akamoto. Pitch a little bit outside, ball 1. Oh. Thank you. New batter is Julian Romero, pinch hitting for Akamoto.
We saw him. He started the first game
played outfield in game number 1, getting the pinch hit opportunity here.
Played left field. He went 0 for 1 with a walk in that one.
Fastball down the heart of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Fouled out of play. 2-2 the count on Romero.
Romero came in batting .295.
Breaking ball, nice movement on that pitch right into the heart of the plate that fooled Romero. The strikeout is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, big breaker there from Wessels. Changed speeds on that one. He's got that tight 12-6er. That one he kind of looped in there a little bigger, a little more of a sweeper, and Romero couldn't do anything with it.
Back to the top of the order for Chase Burke, the center fielder. 0 for 3 thus far. Chopper, Gravel picks it on the short hop. Shows off a strong arm across the diamond. 6-3 on the play. And the Jimmies are down to their final bullet, trailing 8-3.
Nice play there from Gravel, who spent most of the day at second base. Pretty good arm there for a guy playing on the Keystone.
Yep. I was kind of found it a difficult transition to move from second to short in the same game. I mean, that happened when I was a younger guy, and I always loved playing shortstop better than second base because I hated those skew shots coming on the ground ball to second. First pitch swinging is the next batter, Alex Oliva, down the third base side. Scott Hansen, the third baseman, in foul territory. Falls to his knees but makes the catch before doing so. And the side is retired. 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th inning. And the Bellevue Bruins come away with a doubleheader sweep over the University of Jamestown Jimmies, winning this one by a score of 8-3 for the winning Bruins. 8 runs on 7 hits, but committing 2 errors. For the Jimmies, 3 runs on 6 hits. They also committed 2 errors. With the victory, the Bellevue Bruins are now 34-13 on the season, 17-1 in North Star Athletic Association play. The Jamestown Jimmies, with the loss, dropped to 32-14, 11-7 overall. The winning pitcher is Jace Wessels, who now goes to 5-0 on the season, his 4th consecutive complete game.
Yep, 4 strikeouts for Wessels against just 1 walk, improves upon his excellent strikeout to walk ratio on the season. He's really been hot since the Bruins have come into conference play. Hope to carry that over into the conference tournament and further for the Bruins.
Well, the Bruins get the job done, winning the conference championship outright with their first win today. Icing on the cake with the win in game number 2. We'll be back again tomorrow afternoon. Mick won't be with me. He's got another responsibility going on, but I'll be here to bring you the game solo as the Bruins and the Jimmies meet up for another doubleheader tomorrow to finish out the regular season in the North Star. 12 noon, our starting time, Central Time for that one. For Bill, for Alec, for Dave, for Mick, for me, thanks for joining us this afternoon on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Enjoy the rest of your weekend as we will be back tomorrow with more baseball action. Take care. Thanks, Mick.